Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to Haunt Hunt number 5. This is like one of 2 intros. I just had to throw in a quick one here because in a second, the clip you're about to see is footage of me at Pottery Barn showing you guys the Halloween stuff that my local Pottery Barn had. I filmed that on the 14th, and then I filmed again on the 17th, and on the 17th, I forgot that I had already filmed something, and so I did like a whole intro as if it was the beginning. Anyways, there's gonna be another intro right after Pottery Barn, so just bear with me with that. Also, quick thing before we jump into it, if I sound in the voiceover a little nasally, it is because my allergies have decided it is the perfect time to just like berate me. So I am a little congested and just, it's not too bad, but just so you know, if you're like, why does he sound like that? That's why. So let's go to Pottery Barn and then a bunch of other fun places. In the kitchen and dining section, Pottery Barn had a bunch of Halloween stuff. They had a bunch of mugs and a bunch of platters and plates. They had some placemats along with an ice bucket and stuff. I really liked all this, but we all know how expensive it all was, so I didn't get anything. On the other side of this area, they had some of the metal pieces, which was the metal drinking glasses and the metal skeleton bowls. Once again, I loved all this, but interesting. Don't those wine glasses look familiar? And feeling them, they feel just like the Home Goods ones. So people, if you're watching and considering buying the Pottery Barn or Home Goods ones, please just get the Home Goods ones. I was pretty bummed because they told me that they didn't have any other sections of Halloween, which meant no plushies or pillows, but I will say I came back a day later and I picked up 2 of the cheapest things here, so I will show you those in the Halloween. Next door was Pottery Barn Teen, and they did have some Harry Potter stuff that looked kind of spooky, but no Halloween. In this same bougie mall, we went to a floral store called Bachmann's, and they actually did have a Halloween section as well. This was more kind of like the adult/older demographic decor style, so I did not like any of this personally, and I passed on everything. Just for fun, I decided to try on this sheer skeleton poncho, and not my style. Good morning, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to Haunt Hunt number 5. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed the little surprise that was last week's video. I definitely didn't expect that to be last week's video at all. I already miss him. I already cannot wait to put the mummy back out. I actually just this morning was reading a post. It's a 12-foot skeleton Facebook group, and they were talking about the 12-foot mummy. And I don't know why there's so much bias to Home Depot for some of these people that buy like just the Home Depot animatronics, and I'm just like, a bunch of places make animatronics. Like Spirit Halloween does, Lowe's does, Menards does. I just don't get why there's like this place is better than that place. Like, I don't get it. Anyways, I like him. I love him. If you couldn't tell by the review at the end, I freaking love the mummy. I'm not gonna pick favorites. They're my 2 children. I'm not picking favorites. Skelly's here with me. Hey, Skelly. And he's buried and stuff that I need to put into our storage unit. But anyways, yeah, welcome to Haunt Hunt 5. I already feel like I've derailed and I'm talking about random crap already. So I'm not in a spooky shirt, but that's because I'm going to the gym. It's another early morning, but don't worry because I have a Courage the Cowardly Dog spooky shirt to change into after I'm done working out, because I knew we were gonna do some haunt hunting, so I knew I needed to pack a shirt for the occasion, so that's what I did. So I'll be switching into that after the gym, and that's when we're gonna go haunt hunting, and where we are gonna go, because that is when we're gonna go haunt hunting. I also have a different spooky bag this time, and this is the Moschino the Werewolf lunch bag. It looks like an old-fashioned lunchbox from like the 90s, 80s, 70s, but it has this really cool art of the Wolfman, like the original Wolfman from Universal. So I freaking love that bag. That's new this year. I did not have that one last year. You guys might have seen my Dracula one last year, because I have both. one quick thing, the reason I'm doing this whole long big intro is because I have something to say. So this hunt, I feel cheated, I feel lied to, I feel betrayed, I feel left out of the group. So every year I see like the list of everyone's places they go for Halloween, and there's like a group of ones that we have in my area and a group of ones we don't, obviously. We don't have Old Time Pottery, we don't have Grandin Road, which I don't even know if that's an online only thing, but I don't really know much about that place. It's expensive. And I thought we didn't have Kirkland's. So Kirkland's is some home furniture decor store that I've heard of many years, watching other people do Halloween hunting and on the Facebook group. And I've always just accepted the fact that I have no access to that stuff because we don't have one. Ha ha ha. I decided to just look online at all the online Halloween stuff last night, and I went to Kirkland's website. I saw a really cool ghost doormat, and I was like, I'm gonna put it in my cart. It was only like $13, and it said only available for in-store pickup, and I was like, great, so I'm not gonna get this. And so just for fun, I hit find locations, enter in your zip code situation, and so I put in my zip code, and there's a freaking Kirkland's in my area. But even better than freaking that, the Kirkland's is attached to the mall, that dead mall that has the Bath and Body Works. It's attached, and I know exactly where it is. I've just never looked at what that place is. It's next to a Noodles and Company, and I've been to that Noodles and Company a couple of times, and I've freaking walked right by that Kirkland so many times, and I just didn't even look at what the store was. And so I have went multiple Halloween hunting years without going to Kirkland's, and I could have been doing it this whole time. Anyways, so long story short, we're going to Kirkland's today after I work out because I feel like I've missed out, and now I'm super pumped to see what they have. Also, in that mall, we saw that Spirit of Halloween was coming at some point this year, so we're gonna go see if it's up yet. And then there's a Home Goods right across the street from that mall, so I'm at least going there, and I'll show you if there's something ooky spooky spectacular. So I'm gonna go work out. Sorry for the super long intro. I just had to talk about my freaking discovery last night. I was like, we have a Kirkland's? We've always had a Kirkland's? Anyways, I'm gonna go work out now. Wish me luck. Guys, I had to quick stop by a consignment store before starting the hunting, and they had Halloween out. And you're not gonna believe what I got. They had this vintage cat and jack-o'-lantern blow mold. This is so hard to find. I've seen them online, and the price was $11.50. Like, what? Please ignore, I just smashed my head on my trunk while I was putting that blow mold in. But we got spooky shirt on, spooky coffee in hand, and we're ready to hunt. The errands are done, may have a headache later, probably gonna have a big bump on my head. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go to Home Goods first because it's the closest. And then we, together, will go to Kirkland's, and then we'll go to Spirit of Halloween and hope that it's open. So let's get hunting. Well, now doesn't she look familiar? This bust of the Bride of Frankenstein, I think, is literally sent straight from Michael's because it felt exactly the same. And I loved this giant haunted house. It was huge, at least 3 feet, but I have nowhere to put something like that. They also had the lighted holding head headless horseman, which was pretty cool. A lot of people look for this, so it was pretty cool to see it in the store. This pineapple jack-o'-lantern gave me Summerween vibes. You could keep it out in your kitchen all year long to celebrate Halloween. And also, look at how freaking tall these nutcrackers were. They were like 4 feet or like 3.5. I had definitely never seen this thing before. This thing was huge. I hadn't seen this skull and crow wine glass before, and also I spotted one of them ghost food containers, and so I absolutely grabbed that. I love getting these. Okay, so we're across the street, and look right next to Noodles & Company, Kirkland's. How have I never noticed this? Well, for the first time in my life, let's go into a Kirkland. Kirkland's had tons of more fall type items like plain pumpkins and pumpkins with letters all over them, and then of course glass pumpkins. We see these at Home Goods more in the fall section versus the actual Halloween section. They did have a small Halloween section though, with some pieces that I did like. They had 20% off, which was great too, but they only had a couple things I was actually on the lookout for. There was a plate that I wanted that matched this skeleton mug, but I didn't see the plate, only the mug. These are like direct knockoffs from Pottery Barn in quality and in how they look, so if these go more than 20% off, I think I might actually pick one of these up. So they didn't have nearly all their Halloween out yet. They said that they're going to get it out by the end of the month. So I had a few things I saw online that I'm going to come back and look for at some point, but I did get one thing that I wanted from the website. So successful first Kirkland's run. Yes, it looks like they're open. I honestly wasn't sure if they'd be open, so let's get down there. Well, I basically wanted one of each of these t-shirts. Up in the front, they had the section of all the different Halloween horror movies. They had Halloween, they had Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, Scream. It was pretty awesome. My favorite pieces from these sections were kind of the little like collectibles, like the pins, the patches, the socks, the chokers. It was pretty cool. And I love the addition of bags and accessories like wallets this year. That's awesome. Plus these patches were so cool. I actually did buy these. I love them. Okay, how cool is this Scaredy Cat crossbody bag? I love it. And I love all of this Halloween, just like traditional kind of jack-o'-lantern style clothing. The pumpkin blazer I remember seeing last year and I wanted it then, but this year they had t-shirts, they had dresses, they had sweaters, they even had this flannel that was a jack-o'-lantern flannel. They have basically a section for every single monster, creature, and movie that relates to Halloween in any way, shape, or form. Spirit of Halloween really knows what they're doing. Of course, they also had animatronics too. This was the skeleton section, and oh my gosh, did I want this moto jacket. Unfortunately, it felt like it was made of thin paper, so that was a pass, but look at how freaking cool it looked. I need one of these, but like made of better material. I wanted basically everything in the trick-or-treat section too. Last year was the first year that I watched Trick-or-Treat, and I'm so mad that I didn't watch it before. I love that movie, and it's definitely a classic for me now. This shirt was probably my favorite piece in the section. Besides the skeleton section, they had a clown section, they had a vampire section, they had this witch section, which of course featured the picture of the iconic Jade the Libra. I see you, girl. This Spirit Halloween hockey jersey was so cool as well. Once again, it felt really cheap, but I did really like it. Unfortunately, not all of the animatronics were actually working yet at this location. I don't know if I'm just on one of their first days, but some of them were working, which was pretty cool.
Your host is not here right now. They're busy burying something in the backyard. But we'll have loads of fun while they're gone.
And of course they had the more family-friendly Halloween movie sections. They had Hocus Pocus, they had Nightmare Before Christmas. I just wish that they would have Halloween Town. I don't know why there's never any merchandise for Halloween Town, but we need to start like a petition or some kind of like GoFundMe to create Halloween Town merch that can be sold in stores. Love that they had a Monster High section, and they even had this Powerpuff section, and then on the other side they had all of the Beetlejuice stuff. When I was in there, this animatronic was not working, and I wish it had been because I wanted to get it on footage, but he jumps like 12 feet up in the air. They had a whole section of comedic Halloween costumes that were pretty funny, honestly, looking at some of them. And then they had these really cool Halloween earrings. Some of them looked more vintage, some looked more like cutesy, pastel. I like the sucker ones. And then some were more kind of like gothic. And the section where I usually actually grab like the most stuff is this impulse section, which is the entire aisle all the way up to the registers. They have all kinds of fun keychains and stickers and magnets for your car. They have socks, they have gift totes. Okay guys, so I'm in Target, if you can tell by just how things look. And I wasn't planning on filming today, especially not here, but my Target is actively putting up the front Halloween section, so let's run. They were literally just putting things out as I was there. What perfect timing. As you can see by this cart full of pillows and this half-empty blanket shelf, they were just starting to put stuff out, which also meant they had basically everything in stock still, so it was pretty cool to be able to see so many of the things that they had out so far. They had a good mix of like party type stuff along with decor. They had ice cube trays and platters, and they also had little appetizer plates. These are only $3, so I may have grabbed a few. They had wine glasses that were a little plain for me, and then they had these spider bowls that I feel like you kind of see everywhere, like Home Goods and Pottery Barn and stuff. Glass pumpkins seem to be something that you see everywhere as well. Okay, I was obsessed with this matte black skull candle holder, and they had a bigger one as well. One was 10 and one was 20. I like their art style on their pillows this year too. Oh, and bless, they brought back the haunted house. They only had like one at each store last year, but they were quite stocked this year. Mine's a little different because it had trees in the back, so I have the OG. Like I said though, the section was only about maybe half full, probably even less than that, so I will have to come back. They had a full round display of these plastic plates and plastic cups, which were much cheaper than the other items, so it was nice, affordable, cute Halloween stuff. I absolutely loved this crow pillow, and it was so nice feeling. Okay, so I was not expecting that. That was an amazing surprise this morning. I just ran to Target just for something else, and I was like, I see a skull. And sure enough, they're putting out Halloween. So they're just starting, as you saw. So there was not everything, and even in that one section, they didn't even have everything. But I love the Threshold Halloween stuff, so I may have bought a couple things. But that was really exciting, and I'm gonna be checking back definitely in like a day or two for when they have it all out. But I'm so excited that Target's starting to put their stuff out. Target has some of the best Halloween stuff. I usually end up getting quite a bit from them, so I'm very excited.
The search begins for more Halloween.
Debbie's Halloween hunting. She's dragging me along. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to a Michael's and a TJ's. I think the last time Debbie was with me hunting, we went to this TJ's. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Michael's had brought out their Halloween doormats, which they have every year, but I hadn't seen the ones for this year yet. And then this store had basically every single section. They had the classic characters Halloween, they had the witch, they had everything that we've seen so far. I kind of felt like there were a couple new things here and there. Maybe I just hadn't been paying attention that well in the past, but some of these things didn't look that familiar to me. In the middle aisle, they had some lights and more light-up style decorations that I definitely hadn't seen before at any other Michael's, so it was cool to see that there was more new stuff we hadn't seen. Moving on to the TJ Maxx next door, they had definitely added out quite a lot of new stuff. They had a lot of Ray Dunn, which is not surprising in any way, shape, or form, but there was some new ones that I hadn't seen before, like that Beware of Ghosts. They also had this very pretty marble Lazy Susan, but I've already picked up a couple marble items and a Lazy Susan, so I didn't need it. They also had these really cool vintage looking signs, which I loved the art style on. And this section last time we came in only had the jack-o'-lanterns stacked up on each other, so you can tell they are adding new items. I did love this skull pillow, but I have a lot of spooky pillows, so unfortunately I did have to pass on him. The Frenchie on this pillow was so adorable, and in the kitchen towel section, they had a couple really cool ones, including a few Joanna Parkers, which you know is my favorite. Besides the skull pillow, they had the candy corn pillow, which I also really liked, but again, I have too many.
Here we go again, looking for more Halloween.
They're also at Home Goods.
She's a natural.
Yeah. Home Goods had a lot of stuff, which is great to see because we're getting later in the Home Goods Halloween season, and I feel like last year around this time they would already be getting short on things, so I'm glad they're really keeping up a good amount of inventory. Okay, it's the next day, and I was in the neighborhood, so why not see if they finished putting up the Halloween section? For the most part, it seems like not much has changed in the section besides, of course, them selling out of some of the items. They still had no stir sticks, which I am on the lookout for. They also still had all of the little skeleton candle holders and a lot of the same pillows. But overnight, they added the pillow that I wanted so bad. I saw it online. It says, "Roses are red, shadows are black. There are ghosts in the garden, watch your back." Like, how amazing is that? They finished filling up the blanket section too. They do have quite a few cute ones this year, but I expected that from Target. They always have so many cute Halloween blankets, and they're only $10 a piece. They also had added some of their Halloween shirts and sweatshirts, including this Halloween one, which I would have wanted, except it says on it, "Slay all day," which is going to be a no from me. Good afternoon, ghouls and ghosties.
Hola.
So it is,
¿Cómo estás?
it's August 21st. I think the last clip was a couple days ago, a handful of days ago. It's just 1 p.m. and we're just getting set out on our errands for the day. So of course I had to sprinkle in some spooky stops. So we're at Michael's. There's one thing that I didn't know about until like last weekend that I'm looking for, and I'll tell you about it if I see it. And then we're gonna go to Menards because we haven't been to Menards yet this season.
And I like Menards.
And I've heard from a couple people that there's a lot of Halloween stuff there. So I'm pretty excited about that. So let's go to Michael's. I really love the Halloween signage that they had hanging up from the ceiling. I didn't see that at the other Michael's that we went to. They really, at this location, seem to have went all out Halloween, or at least they have it organized way better. It's just like you walk in and bam, Halloween's in your face in every section. It's in signs, it's in garland, it's in the decor, it's in pillows, it's in art supplies. I love it. They had a huge spooky ribbon section along with these two outdoor signs, which I thought were really cute. They also had this center candle section, but it's not just the normal fall candles, they're more like spooky and gothic. They also had added the pastel goth section, which was pretty cool. Not my taste, but I know it's the taste of a lot of people, so I'm glad they have a section for it. They had a big party supply section that included some wine glasses and tumblers, and then they also had this kind of serving/dining section that I hadn't seen before. I really loved the ghost pieces, including this bowl and canister, and my favorite was probably this big platter plate. So Michael's didn't have what I wanted. They had what Ryan wanted.
I bought a tie-dye kit.
And time to go to Menards. I'm like, where are we going? Menards. You save big money. We entered through the garden section, and they actually did have a handful of garden and outdoor decorations, like this big Frankenstein head and the ceramic jack-o'-lantern. And then by the plants, they had gathered together a handful of larger kind of decor pieces. The first thing I spotted inside was once again the spooky flamingos. I loved these last year and I still love them. Menards had a good mix of outdoor items along with indoor decor. I liked the stop sign, but it was battery operated, which absolutely irritates me. They had so many different inflatables and larger decor pieces. They also had their fair share of animatronics. This guy moved really realistically. It was almost like off-putting. And even Menards is entering the 12-foot game with this 12-foot Reaper. He was kind of unimpressive, especially since he was more expensive than even the Mummy. And here is the section of animatronics and outdoor decor. Of course, they had a section of outdoor lights and projectors and solar lights and string lights. And every Halloween season, I love looking at the Menards Spooky Village section. My mom always loves these outdoor welcome signs and kind of quirky signs, so I'm sure she would love these. The rest of the store was kind of just like knickknacks and tchotchke stuff, so nothing really caught my attention, but they had a huge section, which I love. We're checking Burlington. This is the only time in my life I've ever been into one, but I've seen they have Halloween decor online, so why not? This Burlington location had very, very little to choose from for Halloween items, and it was very, very unorganized, and stuff was kind of just thrown everywhere, so I was really hunting through everything to see if I could find any Halloween, and I did spot a few things, definitely nothing that I needed to have, but at least they had some stuff, I guess. Later that day, Ryan and I stopped at a different Target, and they did have a few items that I hadn't seen before, including this poor jack-o'-lantern whose face was put on upside down. I felt so bad for him. All of these items were in the bullseye section, so they were all like $1, $3, or $5. It seems like most of it was $3 or $5. Including these mini witches brooms. They were really cute and they were $5, which I kind of thought was a little steep for these, but I did like them. I just got done with work for the day and I'm driving right by that Lowe's where we got the mummy, who I still have not named. And so I was thinking we could go in there, and now that they actually have all the Halloween out, we could look at it. Because when we went to pick up the mummy, they were just putting it out that day. Now it should like totally be out. Also, so I stopped to get some chicken nuggets, because I'm 5. And the drive-thru employees were like, "I love your skeleton." And I was like, "Thank you." So Skelly got complimented today. Twice. Lowe's, I feel like, has been the most efficient yet this year to get their items out quickly. This Halloween section was totally full, no boxes were left shut, like everything was in place and it was very well organized. I always think it's cool that Lowe's has licensed animatronics. They have Friday the 13th Jason, they have Michael Myers, and they have Freddy Krueger as lights and as full-blown life-size animatronics. Of course, they also had non-licensed animatronics, including, who is that? The 12-foot mummy by chance? This must be their display one that they weren't gonna sell, and sure enough, I checked the section where his boxes would be, and they didn't have any. They had Minnie and Mickey Mouse blow molds, and then they also had some Haunted Mansion and Nightmare Before Christmas items, though they did have a section of just non-branded decor as well, which had gargoyles and jack-o'-lanterns, and I loved these rotting jack-o'-lanterns. They were so cool.
Oh, sorry. Halloween just brings out the cool in me.
And of course, Lowe's also had a bunch of different string lights, including these really cool top hat skeleton and witch hat jack-o'-lantern ones that flickered. I did really like those. I don't know what was going on with the skeletons up here, if one was choking the other or something. Not sure. And then there was this section of licensed, once again, like family movie, mainly Nightmare Before Christmas in this section. I know they had a little Haunted Mansion, but for the most part, they had a ton of Nightmare Before Christmas items. This was my favorite, this funky light head. And like Menards, Lowe's had about 1.5 billion inflatable decor as well. I don't think I have any inflatable items because, in my opinion, they seem like they pop so easy. And all of their different sizes of jack-o'-lanterns were just thrown into this like pumpkin patch cage, which I thought was funny. Hello, ghouls and ghosties. So, welcome to August, 23rd, 24, 23, early 20s. Today, we are in an area that we're not in very often. I used to go to this area all the time, but I don't really go much anymore. And it is that area where I think it was in the first or second Haunt Hunt. It is the one that has the runway TJ Maxx, which means they have like super high-end clothes. And it's combined with the home goods. And it's really big, so I'm hoping they have a lot of Halloween in there. We also are going to possibly go to another Burlington. I don't want to go back to Burlington ever again, honestly, in my life. But I should edit it in. Editing Jack, if you'd so kindly put it in here. There's this ghost statue that looks all vintagey and cute, and I think it's like even it can go outside and it might be like ceramic. And I freaking want it, okay? And it's at Burlington's, and I think each one gets one at the most. But the one that we went to was horrible. I feel like all the ones around here are bad, but if we don't check, we definitely can't find it. So we're just gonna quick check there because there is one up in this area. Might go to Target just for funsies. I don't know. I don't know where the day is gonna take us, but let's for now go into Home Goods TJ Maxx runway store. I think these are literally the exact same birds that Target sells each year on this pillow, and oh my gosh, you know I had to get this for my household. We have 2 pugs. This Home Goods was super well stocked as well. I think last time we came to this location, it was quite disappointing with how much they had, so it was super nice to see them have so much stuff. As it gets later in the season, I feel like I always see less and less stuff that I want, and that applied here as well. I guess that's probably a good thing though, because I did a lot of shopping already, so if I can do some stops without picking up anything, I think my wallet would thank me. Okay, this Grim Reaper was funny. A go home sign instead of a welcome sign, I love. So this tablecloth is based off of a vintage design of tablecloth, and it's so amazing because at Goodwill the other day I found the actual vintage version. In the drying mat section they had a Joanna Parker one, so maybe I won't be leaving empty-handed. They've still been adding more lamps and lights throughout the season as well. I'm not as big of a fan of some of these skull ones, and I hadn't seen these different size spiderweb ones before. I also hadn't seen these picture frames before at any location, and I really like those. This Home Goods had so many candles, and I know they all have a lot of candles, but this one had like so many, including this fake candle of a skull with flickering fake eyes. I loved this, but y'all, the price was $60. What in the world? I was so close to grabbing this basket jack-o'-lantern for Mike's dog toys, but I passed on it, and I don't know if that was the right decision. And in the checkout lane, they did have some new pillows that I hadn't seen before. Here we go. Here's footage of me actually running to the back of the store because what do I see? The ghost. I cannot believe I spotted the ghost. I found out later that his mouth is supposed to be colored in black, but you know what? I have paint. I can figure it out. I cannot believe I found him. This Burlington had much more for Halloween decor than the one that is closer to my house, which is kind of nice because the one close to my house was so terrible. This one still didn't honestly have like that much stuff, but it did have more. Okay, so our last stops for the day. We're not gonna go to Target because I looked online and the Target that I was closest to did not have anything Halloween, because you can actually just check if they have any of the Threshold stuff on the app, and they did not, so I didn't stop. But we're stopping at a Marshall's, and there's a Michael's right next door, and like I said, there's one more Michael's thing that I'm looking for, so I'm gonna look at Michael's and at Marshall's. We're doing Michael's first because I think it'll be a lot faster than Marshall's. Well, Michael's had basically all the stuff we'd seen before, which isn't surprising at this point. Obviously, Michael's isn't like Home Goods. They're not all different, so we're just kind of going to be seeing the same stuff over and over. But I will say, they still didn't have the one thing that I am looking for. So, moving on to the Marshall's next door, they had this really adorable Witch Joanna Parker doormat. Not my favorite of the Joanna Parker stuff, but of course I still did appreciate it. They also had a ton of the spooky rugs, which is just crazy with how rare those were last year. And then I did pick up this witch broom. It looks just like one from Grandin Road, so I'm getting it for about a fifth of the price. And there were a few new tumbler designs that I hadn't seen that I did like, but I do not need another one of these. Okay, I lied. One more stop. We're going by a TJ Maxx that I don't get to very often. So let's just do one more. Will you guys just let me do one more? Can I just do one more, please? This TJ's had also become much more stocked since the last time we were here. They had a version of the skull bust that I bought that was more kind of gothic and embellished. I like mine more. And the award for most random decor I've seen yet this year is Kansas City Zombies? I think I saw this skeleton on the TJ Maxx website, but I hadn't seen it in person yet. It's cute, but a little too childish for my taste, and I also did really like these spiderweb pillows. Ugh, and more Joanna Parker. It's so hard to not just buy all of it. Plus, they had this really adorable vintage style serving platter, and then this rectangle one as well. I love the art style on them. These are the plates that I bought last year. I hadn't seen these come back anywhere yet this year, so it was cool to see them again. And you also like never see men's clothing that's spooky, so it was cool to see this. It's not my style, but I did appreciate it. Why hello there, ghouls and ghosties. So today, no haunt hunting, unfortunately. It depresses me too, so please don't cry. I'm trying to hold back my tears. But I'm going to do a small little short taste test for you guys because I have lots of work to get done today, so that's why we're not haunt hunting. And at 6, my family is meeting with an out-of-state family member, and there's this big family event going on, so I just don't have time to haunt hunt. But I'm going to do a taste test of the Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin cold brew and then the Dunkin' Donuts like donut hole pumpkin situation. I will tell you, I'm going into this kind of with a bias in certain ways. And that is only that I traditionally and historically hate Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's not that I want to. I am totally open to liking Dunkin' Donuts, but every time I go, it's disgusting. So I'm not super hopeful with this taste test, but maybe they've changed recipes or fixed it or something this year. It's usually too sweet and it just tastes like chemicals in a cup, but we'll try. I'm hopeful for the donut holes. Those should be good because like how could they do that wrong? And they're Dunkin' Donuts, so like they should do that right. But I'm gonna go through the drive-thru and get those two things, and I'm gonna try them for you guys. But again, I don't have high hopes. And Starbucks doesn't come out with theirs until the 30th at the earliest, which is so annoying. Last year was the 24th. Starbucks, pick up the pace. Okay guys, sample time. So they were out of munchkins, the little donut hole things, but they had one pumpkin donut left, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I think the munchkins were like $1, so that's probably the same price. I don't know, but I also haven't eaten today, so I also might have bias with this donut because I'm starving. So let's try the donut first. I wouldn't say it like smells like pumpkin. It kind of smells like a classic, like like a cake donut or whatever. It looks like a pumpkin donut with like the orange. I mean, it's good. I'd give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10 for just like overall. And for being like pumpkin, I'd give it like a 4 or 5. You can kind of tell that it's like going for pumpkin, but it's not like really obvious. Like if I tried that alone and didn't look at the color, I'd be like, like a cinnamon or just normal cake donut. So yeah, like 4 or 5 out of 10 for the pumpkin level and 6 or 7 out of 10 just for the donut. Next up is the cold brew pumpkin. The medium cold brew brown sugar pumpkin spice. Cold brew. As I've said that like 10 times. Like, did you know that it's a cold brew? So it looks good, but Dunkin' is always like this. Like it looks fine, and then you try it and you're like, ugh. So let's see. It smells like cake frosting, which is probably the foam on top, but it literally smells like cake frosting. Okay, this is probably one of the best Dunkin' coffees I've ever had. Just because like, it's definitely drinkable. Like it's pretty decent. I don't taste that like normal like chemical. Maybe that's what their vanilla tastes like or something, but I'm not getting chemical or anything. I did do like less cream and less Splenda just because I just hate the sweetness overload. I'm not getting a ton of pumpkin though, like at all. Once again, like there's something there, but it doesn't scream pumpkin to me. But this is not horrible. For the drink, I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, like 5.5 or 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. I wouldn't need to like get this every day, and it's not like Starbucks where I'm gonna like go out of my way many mornings to get it. But like if I was craving coffee and I didn't have time to make one or something, this is definitely pretty good. And for the $3, sure, not that bad. And until Starbucks gets theirs, I suppose, if I like am near a Dunkin', it's pretty good. Yeah, not awful. And then again, for the pumpkin rating, this I would give like 1.5 or 2 out of 10 for a pumpkin taste. I don't get pumpkin at all. I think the cold foam or whatever make like you can smell pumpkin in the foam, and so you're like, oh, I'm drinking pumpkin. But like if you really just think about the taste, it's not there. So overall, pretty decent. So okay, tomorrow's Thursday. Hopefully I can do like a stop or two tomorrow. I would go to Home Depot, but I've heard from many places that they don't have anything, so I just haven't checked yet. Maybe I'll do some hot hunting tomorrow, aka like in a couple seconds for you guys. But then this video has to go up in 2 days, so I was hoping to edit tomorrow, so I might quick film a little bit to edit and put in tomorrow. I hope I have a decent amount of footage for you guys. I haven't really like looked as much this time, and this filming has been a little bit more spaced out, so I'm not totally sure, but I like to at least have these be half an hour after they're edited. In a second, there should be a couple more stops for haunt hunting, and then next week is going to be another Halloween, and I really want to make 2 videos next week. I haven't decided what day I would do a second video on. Maybe like Wednesday, maybe? And that would be maybe like baking something. I want to do an extra video. Hopefully next week I can do 2 videos. One is definitely Halloween. That'll be Friday. And possibly baking then on Wednesday or something. Something on Wednesday. I'll see you guys in a sec. Oh, quick! One more thing. So any of you watching right now, if you are in the Facebook group Halloween Forever, which is a Facebook group started by Jade DeLibra, who I freaking love. I think I just showed you guys a picture of her. She's on the poster in Spirit Halloween. She's iconic. I can relate with her on like many levels. Anyways, in her group, I posted a picture that I found the ghost, the Burlington ghost, and like 4 or 5 people in that group commented that they recognized me from these haunt hunts and Halloweens, which is like so exciting. I was like, people who like Halloween, like a couple of them know me. I was like shook. So special shout out to all those people. Hello, and thank you so much for commenting that. That put the biggest smile on my face, I kid you not. Anyways, let's go somewhere to haunt hunt tomorrow. Debbie and I made a stop at Target while getting our oil changed. And this Target is not the one that I was at before. This one has more stuff. This Target had way more stuff than the Target closest to my house. I loved the art style on these little candles. Unfortunately, I didn't like the smell of any of them, but I did think they were cute. They had all kinds of spooky rubber duckies, which was definitely a new one to me. My mom actually picked a few of these up to give to my little cousins. And then also they had these little witch and skull bubble wands, so we grabbed some of those for them too. They had these cutesy, spooky keychain guys as well, which I hadn't seen at our Target. Plus, they had these pumpkin and skull-shaped candles. They had little ceramic light-up jack-o'-lanterns along with some wine glasses with jack-o'-lantern faces, and some of them said trick or treat on them. They were plastic, so I would prefer non-plastic. They had these spatulas. They also had these little potion bottles along with some cute wooden signs that said "Boo to You" on them. They had these plastic crystal balls along with these plastic cloche. Is it a cloche? I think it's a cloche, right? A cloche? Maybe. Along with some plastic kids' cups and these cool little wooden decor pieces. I don't really know what you do with these. Maybe set them up just like on a mantle or something. And oh my gosh, they had a full stock of the dollar spooky socks. I wait like all year to get all of my socks from the Target bullseye section, and finally I can get them. So I grabbed like every different design in the adult size, and I loved this rug. It said it was a rug. I almost thought it was a placemat at first, but apparently it's a rug. So I'm getting it and using it as a rug. And they had these little mirrors and this little door along with some planters that look like feet of witches and mummies. I always say it seems like you don't see very much Dracula or mummy decor, so I appreciate when I see that stuff. They had this section of kitchen items, which included these oven mitts that were ghost and said boo. They had some kitchen towels. They also had some spatulas. And of course, this store had a fully stocked threshold section as well. They had mainly a bunch of things we'd seen before, but they had a few things we didn't see at the other location, including this pumpkin candle and the cauldron candle and the skull candle. We also hadn't seen these skulls before. This one is like a canister for holding stuff in, and then they had a giant skull candle next to it. The location near us, I don't think had those bath mats or these bath towels either. Definitely filling this basket quick. This Target also had all of their Sugar Fix earrings, the Halloween earrings. Plus, back to school looks like it's gone and Halloween is moving in. I cannot believe we're already getting this close to Target Halloween. I'm so flippin' excited. Even the pet section was starting to fill with Halloween. They had costumes, they had pajamas, they were even getting in the Bark Box Halloween items. They had spooky snacks and spooky treats for cats and dogs. I'm excited about this as well. And in the freezers, they had pumpkin pie ice cream and pumpkin cheesecake and pumpkin mochi. Ugh. These two items might have to be in a trial soon. Pumpkin English muffins and pumpkin granola. Good evening, ghouls. It is August 24th, and this is the last little day of clips for this haunt hunt. So the video is going up tomorrow, so that's why this is the last day of clips. It is 3 p.m. and today is the day that Caribou Coffee came out with their pumpkin flavor and pumpkin drinks and stuff. So I'm actually going to do a trial of that for you guys, and then we're gonna go haunt hunting. So what kind of fun does that sound like? A pumpkin drink and going to a Home Goods and a Marshall's? That sounds fan-flippin-tastic. So I think I'm gonna get the pumpkin iced latte. Caribou, I don't know if you guys have them in your area. They're actually from Minnesota, which is where I live. And I know they are in other places, but not like as many places as they are here. I don't think I've tried their pumpkin drinks in person ever. Actually, my favorite ground coffee to make pumpkin drinks out of is the Caribou ground coffee you get at Target. My hopes are kind of high here. and I am really excited to try it. Caribou I usually don't get because Caribou is actually like really expensive, like even more expensive than Starbucks. So I'm just gonna suck it up and buy it this one time. Because I can't really make a habit out of this because the drink is probably gonna be like over $6, which is crazy. Like for a coffee, that's wow. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go inside and get it and come back out to the car and we'll try it. And then I'm right next to the Home Goods and the Marshalls and we're gonna go right over there. Okay guys, this drink was freaking like $6.50. That's insane for this. I mean, I did get a large, so like it's kind of the size of my head. Like I said, I have very high hopes for this. Their big thing is they use real pumpkin, which I found out that, what did I find out? Starbucks like only started to use real pumpkin in their pumpkin flavor. It was like in 2011. Like they'd been serving it for years and there was no pumpkin in their pumpkin, which is hilarious. Caribou uses real pumpkin and they like to let you know that. Yeah, for the price, this better not disappoint. And also, like I said, my favorite coffee at home, my favorite pumpkin coffee is Caribou. Let's try. Okay, so I'm critiquing this based especially off of price and my expectations. It's disappointing. There's a very strange, it's like okay for like a couple seconds, and then there's this like really weird taste. Maybe that's like the can that the pumpkin comes in. I'm clearly gonna finish that. Like it's fine, but it's just okay. Honestly, like taste, I'd give it like 5 out of 10, maybe even less, like 4.5 out of 10. And for pumpkin flavor, 2. Well, that's disappointing. Okay, well, good thing it's not my favorite because now I definitely do not feel inclined to come back here and spend that much money on their coffee. I will just stick to my stuff I have at home, actually. I need to make like cold press out of that or something. That'd be so good. Okay, guys, let's go to Home Goods and then let's go to Marshalls. And then it'll be the end of this hunt. And I really today should probably film next week's Halloween because I have a lot of stuff to show you guys. I'm really excited. And I feel like that might be like everyone's favorite kind of video, but I could be wrong. Let's go to Home Goods. We're starting to see a lot of the same items at this Home Goods over and over. This definitely is the one we've been to the most, so that's not surprising. I still want one of the jack-o'-lantern gentlemen, but I haven't bit the bullet and bought one yet. These pumpkin cookie baking kits would make a really good gift for someone. We then moved on to the Marshalls next door, and they definitely had some new items we hadn't seen before. They, last time we were here, were just starting to put stuff out. Now they had moved some stuff up to the front. That was on these tables up here. I hadn't seen these wooden crates before. I wish they had some designs that I liked more, and I would have totally got one. It was kind of the usual party favors and drinkware and party supplies and tumblers and stuff. I did notice this Joanna Parker mug set, which of course you guys know I love. I feel like you don't see black painted skeletons very often. I think his eyes were like supposed to light up, but the try me button was not working, so I did not get to try him out. This skeleton rug was one of those outdoors kind of garage rugs. I was tempted to get it, but then I kind of thought about it, and I think I already have one from last year, so I passed. So this is a look at their main aisle of Halloween items and the side that is most stocked. Again, it's a lot of stuff that we have seen before, so nothing really caught my attention, but again, it's really good to just see that they have a lot of stuff. On Facebook, I've seen people looking for this blanket, and I happen to actually see 2 at this store. I do like it, but I have a lot of blankets, so I didn't need it. And they had 2 new cutting boards that I had not seen at any location before. Thank you guys so much for joining me again for another haunt hunt. As usual, I've had an absolute blast filming this haunt hunt number 5. There will definitely still be more haunt hunts in the future for this season, but next week is going to be the Halloween number 2. And like I said at one point in this video, there might actually be 2 videos next week. I'm not really sure yet. I might bake, but sometime I also want to try like fall items soon, because there's actually like a decent amount coming out now. I also will be doing a decorating vlog because I'm going to decorate on September 1st. So in the next 2 weeks, I would assume there will be more than 2 videos, but I'm not sure when those will be, and I'm not gonna like make any dates for those yet. But I definitely have a lot of stuff coming up that I'm very excited about, so I cannot wait to do those. And I really appreciate you guys still watching this channel and watching my haunt hunts. I so appreciate it. This is like my favorite thing to do ever. It's just like Halloween shop, Halloween decor, do Halloween events, Halloween bake, all that kind of stuff is my favorite stuff. So the fact that you guys like watch along and enjoy doing it with me means so much. So I will see you guys at the latest next Friday for Halloween number 2. I can't wait to show you guys some of the new things that I bought, which some of it's sitting right next to me. So I will see you guys then or earlier. Goodbye.